the car. What do you think the impact speed was? 140, 150 miles an hour? He didn't get that much off of it.
Exactly, and impact speed is not actually the key to whether drivers get injured or not. It's how that impact is absorbed, and we saw the best absorption of the impact. But the interesting thing is, do you realize that these Indy cars, before they're ever allowed to race on the racetrack, CART mandates a crash test. In England, they literally have a pendulum of concrete that smashes into the front of these cars to test how strong they are. But let me tell you, nothing simulates a real race crash like we saw today.
We're still under yellow. Fittipaldi will lead when they come back. Allinger Jr. is in second place. It's not just the IndyCar safety team here, by the way. It's also a large group of volunteers, of flagging and communication people. And here at Phoenix, they're some of the best in the country. In fact, at 7 o'clock this morning, they're already meeting and talking out the day. And they help support these races. All volunteers, by the way. Let's look ahead to what we can expect from the Indy cars this year. Here is the 1994 schedule and the networks that you'll be able to see them on. Of course, next week, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, coverage on ABC. And then it's off to May for all of these teams for the Great Indy 500. And the real key here is when you're talking the championship, you look down to the second page of this graphic, and that is that the championship will be decided right here on ESPN. So some great IndyCar racing to look ahead to throughout this year on ESPN and on ABC. Now, Michael Andretti drove this new Renard chassis to victory in Australia despite some rough driving on a difficult course. In this track fact, Jan Beekes takes a look at that new chassis.
Race car designers are used to designing cars for the high loads of a superspeedway, let's say a Michigan or an Indianapolis, but sometimes they have to design cars for abuse that they might take in other places. Let's take Michael Andretti as an example. He drove this Reynard in Surfers Paradise, Australia, bounced it over the curbs, got airborne, but yet he went on to victory. Reynard says, we planned that. We did in testing, we put some strain gauges on some of the suspension pieces, particularly here on the pushrod. Then they went back to the factory, put this in a press, and made it as stiff as it needed to be for Michael to bounce over those curbs. Now, it's not just an exercise in making stiff suspension pieces, because if you made them too stiff in an accident, all these suspension pieces are really designed to crush to protect the driver. Now, obviously, Reynard, they got their figures right because this car took a licking but kept on ticking.
And everything worked very well in Australia, but I can guarantee you everybody in Bicester in England that works and builds these Indy cars will be anxious to get Villeneuve's car back to the factory to examine in minute detail everything that stood up to the rigors of the racing and everything that may have failed.
All right, they circle now. Johnny Rutherford in the pace car, and we're looking, it looks like we are coming back to the start of the race in just one lap. One lap now back to green. They will see the green flag on the 89th lap of this race. Now here's the way they line up. Fittipaldi, Unser Jr., Robbie Gordon, Stefan Johansson, they are on the lead lap. Mansell, Groff, Michael Andretti, Jimmy Vasser, Mario Andretti, and Scott Goodyear round out the top 10. They are a lap behind the lead.
And Mario is going to lead the charge here, so he will go 2 laps down very quickly if he does not get underway, because Fittipaldi is only 2 cars behind.
Now, the thing to remember is all of these cars have gone through a lot of debris from this accident. Everybody's concerned about their car. Remember last year, Emerson Fittipaldi, after Paul Tracy's accident, as soon as they came back to green, debris damage to the car sent him up into the wall. We're ready to go again. Green flag is out. Mario, the leader of the serial. Fittipaldi, the leader of the race.
Goodyear goes high, not able to maintain the charge, not able to hold off Emerson. Now the charge and the attack on Mario. There's Mansell.
Mansell trying to tuck in, find position so that he can get around and get that lap back. He's going to be racing very hard. If we've had 2 yellows thus far, which by the way is the lowest number of yellows ever at this track, then one can certainly anticipate another possibility. Look at up there as Mario skates a little bit coming off of the second corner.
The car must be loose. The worst condition you can have the car to begin to jump sideways on you between these concrete walls, and Mario has that condition. Look at the way he backs up and holds up everybody. There's Al Jr. about to make a pounce.
Junior trying to get up through this field. Fittipaldi's loose and pulling away. Junior wants to stay in contact. Robbie Gordon staying in there tight as well. He needs to catch up to Junior. The key here, though, remains Mansell. He wants that lap back. The car is fast and capable.
Robbie Gordon still in attack mode, but Al Jr. hangs on. Maybe this is the race that will give Al Jr. that little bit of confidence that he has seemed to lack since he moved to this Penske team, because he has not shown championship form yet.
See the distance there that Fittipaldi's pulled out. There's Little Al running in second. 3.5 seconds the interval. 3.55. Al Unser Jr. running alone now. Look way ahead to Fittipaldi. 3.5 seconds is an eternity on a 1 mile oval.
It really is. Jeff Andretti still rotates here on the 1 mile oval, moves aside, but Al Jr. is just running about 0.8 of a mile an hour slower on average than Emerson in the last 2 or 3 laps.
Last lap, Little Al really got caught up in traffic. His average fell off almost 5 miles an hour from the leader, Fittipaldi, as he handled up the traffic. And you can see, too, the dust that comes up in that turn every time they go through where the debris and the oil dry was laid down on the track. Plus the winds continue to blow here. The American flag on the pole in the center of this track is standing almost straight out. Nigel Mansell, he continues to work his way up, Jan Beekes.
That's right. You're talking about Nigel trying to get that lap back, but keep in mind, if he wants to make this a 2-stop race, he has to stretch the fuel right now. So he has to decide, am I going to get the lap back now, or am I going to get myself in the right serial so I can make fewer stops? Right now, a lot of strategy down here.
Very good point. The leader of the race has just completed the 96th lap. Can they make this a 2-stop race? They can carry it just a bit further. It's very possible.
Al Jr.'s already made his 2 stops. Stefan Johansson, who's currently running 4th, has already made 2 stops, but Emerson and Gordon have only made 1.
So riding with Nigel Mansell. He's trying to get that lap back and trying desperately.
It was Emerson he followed yesterday in the final practice session when he lost control right there at turn 4. But boy, he got awful close again as he went down into turn 3.
Now Mansell comes charging down. That's Fittipaldi just ahead. Looking for room. Last time through this dog leg, Fittipaldi chopped him a bit.
Mansell is much quicker through there. On the acceleration out of 2, through the dog leg, he actually pulled more than a car length on Emerson. But I'll tell you what, that Penske seems to be very good as he turns down into the corner, down to the apex.
Fittipaldi clears the traffic. That's Adrian Fernandez, who is not in contention here. Long stops early. He runs 17th. He's past Fernandez.
See how quick that happens? I mean, Mansell goes right to the edge, slingshots out, wheel to wheel, and just flies by. Now he's got to see all the debris on that front straight. We've had swirling winds here all weekend, and some of the drivers actually contributed the winds to some of the handling difficulties they've had.
Fittipaldi, when he flashed across the line on the last lap, completed 100 laps, 100 miles, half the distance. The leader at the halfway point has won 3 of the last 4 races here at Phoenix. Unfortunately, last year wasn't one of them. Paul Tracy into the wall last year as the leader, into the wall again this year as the leader. Nigel looking for that opportunity to try to get back on the lead lap. But remember, it's not only back on the lead lap, he still has a mile of catch-up.
That's John Paul. You could see clearly he saw Fittipaldi and he stayed high. Now he needs to give Mansell that little piece of room. He needs to move high. That's it. That's it.
Good job for John Paul.
Drafted in at the last moment to drive Tim Duke's Proformance Team Losi car.
So Nigel Mansell continues to try and play catch-up with Emerson Fittipaldi so that he can get back on the lead lap. And the Penske cars run 1st and 2nd at Phoenix. since we left you, but Nigel Mansell is sitting now right on the back end of Emerson Fittipaldi. And still trying.
And he's desperate to get by Fittipaldi. It's not for position, but if he can sneak his way around Emerson and catch a yellow flag, he has a realistic chance to win this race. So he is trying everything. He's not as quick in the corners, but he is quicker down the straight. To have his hands full and his mirrors full with Al Unser Jr. So he is in the sandwich here of the Penske's running first and second on the racetrack.
Some decision times for both the Penske cars. We're looking down from the Goodyear Blimp Eagle now. It's based in Carson, California. And it gives you great coverage. But look, take a look right there. Take a look as they move to the inside, trying to catch up to Fittipaldi. Nigel's still trying to work his way through traffic. Can he thread his way here? Well, that gives you a great perspective. Eagle, based in Carson, been providing these aerial pictures. And there she is as she floats over the top of the track here. Great coverage. And a great race. Nigel Mansell still trying to catch up. Once again, all of the drivers in that multi-car accident earlier have been pronounced not totally fit. Really only minor injuries. And that only really to Hero. So we wish him well. Possible mild shoulder separation. Look at the debris. What a mess. The winds are really blowing here and blowing debris onto the racetrack. Moselle high. Look at Mansell. Mansell comes low, trying to unlap himself. Plenty of traffic there. Davy Jones to the inside. Jimmy Vasser sits to the high side, and Mansell is back on the lead lap.
Brilliant move. A brilliant move pulled off by Mansell. And he did it by lining up correctly and anticipating the slow traffic on the way into turn one.
Nothing like a three-rail billiard shot to get through traffic. Boy, you're talking skill.
He has patiently waited behind Emerson. You have to be so patient here at Phoenix because there's such high speeds here, and a small mistake can be a disaster. But that was a brilliant move, and that is a battle for position. Right ahead of him, Michael Andretti and Jimmy Vasser.
Battle for 6th place. So Mansell's going to have to be careful, recognizing that he is in the middle of a fight as well. And of course, you got little Al now trying to close down on his teammate Fittipaldi. A lot at stake here. Driver may want to be courteous at one of these points, but he can't if he's involved in his own fight. There's little Al to show you the distance back.
We must remember Mansell has only made one pit stop, as has Robbie Gordon, as has Emerson. Al Jr. has made 2 pit stops.
Here's Nigel's maneuver.
A good look. Now look how far behind he is. Emerson gets trapped. Mansell is high on the power. Powers past Bozell. And powers past Emerson. Perfect move by Mansell.
Back on board, Nigel Mansell. Kmart, Texaco, Haviland, Lola. The blimp up there. It's great. I wonder if Mansell looks up. Do drivers ever look up and see what's in the crowd or anything?
If you blink, you miss the racetrack. Never mind trying to see what's up above.
Blink, don't see that turn. You're gone. The order again. Fittipaldi leads. He just flashed across the line. Al Unser Jr. is second and a half back. Then Robbie Gordon. And then Nigel Mansell, who is well back. But on the lead lap. He ends those on the lead lap. Raul Boesel. Number 5 car. There it is. And how about taking a look at the performance telemetry on this car? Is that cool or what?
Telemetry has opened up a whole new world, and Ford Electronics supplies this telemetry to us here. Look at the miles on the right-hand side, 173. Not as quick as it should be. That's why we see Bozell not...
At the lead of the race, Al Unser Jr. has now closed, and he is on the back door of Fittipaldi. They come under Mario.